Hello and welcome to a Halloween DIY here on SBC, filmed with my 90s camcorder, of course. For this DIY we are using one of those skeleton lens. Yeah, all the tools we need: a knife, a drill, a candle, and of course, in this absolutely not Halloween looking beautiful butterfly box, some of my paint stuff. Yeah. Okay, let's go. Halloween. Okay, let's start. First of all, this piece of scrap wood is the base. So, I'm starting just to make a mess here and cut the corners away, just like this. There it is. I try to find my working place and zoom. So, what I'm doing is I just use the X-Acto knifey to carve away the corners to make it a bit flat. So it's smooth to the ground, if you know what I mean. If not, I don't care. One advice: never carve in your direction or you'll cut your veins open. That's bloody. We have paint for blood, not real blood. So I continue this till all the corners are smoothed out. So it's finished. All edges nice and smooth, at least at one side. And now, time to clean the table. Base finished. Now skeletons. 4 amigos. Plop. And it is free. Save those for later, or for another project. Oh. Yeah, actually, I like those skeletons, but they have their disadvantages. Like, for example, the arms are fixed, the legs are dangling, and yeah. But now we make it pose. So, let's take a closer look. First of all, his legs are in this weird angle, like he's supposed to hang, of course. But we have to change this, and we have to bend his arms. And therefore, It's the candle. It's burning, but the camera exposes a bit too much here, so you can't see it. And what we're doing now is just simply heating up this foot. Gently from the side, not holding it directly into the flame. We don't want it to burn and melt and stink, we just want it to get wet, soft, not wet. It's the same thing. And that's enough, I think. So, a bit more. Yeah, that's it. Press it down a bit. And now the skeleton got his foot fixed. So let's fix his second foot. Let's make it a bit easier. Just removing it from the skeleton. And for some unknown reason my camera lost the audio. Probably some loose connection while digitalizing the footage. What I'm doing here is exactly the same. I have speeded up the video a bit. I'm pressing the foot against something till it is cold enough to hold this new position. Beautiful, isn't it? And the next step is to bend one of his arms, because the position that they are hanging down looks just stupid with the palms of the hands forward. That's just not acceptable. And we are making here some miniature diorama kind of thing, so we want something good looking. And again I'm holding it near the flame, not into the flame, heating it slowly up and applying pressure. When I'm happy with how it stays, I leave it like it is, like so. And now we are starting with the next arm. The next arm is a bit easier. I will just rotate the joint to make his hand hang down in a normal position, not like this palm showing in the front. It's like totally unnatural. And now the audio should be back in action. Hand is now hold in natural position with the thumb upwards, and that's what we have and what we keep. Next point is the legs. They are dangling around and we don't want this, and therefore just heat those tabs up a bit and then actually set them on fire. Yeah. And just press them in like this. Perfectly straight and not dangling. They are holding very well this way. Heating it up and setting it on fire. Just blowing it out and pushing it in. This was a bit slow. Now he's standing up. Hello. So, for the next step, I'm using another spare piece of wood, actually, from this position here. And I'm just adding the classic rip. Rest in peace. And now again I want to keep this as simple as possible. I'm using the X-Acto knife to carve the text out of this tombstone. Use a screwdriver to help you by putting it out. It's no problem. So just cutting it and then carving it out. Just like this. Just like cutting it and breaking it out. Cutting in it like in a little angle, and so you can just easily carve those letters out. So now the text is finished. But that's not all. Every old tombstone needs cracks like this. Like here, and here, and then here, something like this. Same thing, X-Acto knife. Just cutting away. That's the good thing here, you don't need to be precise. Cracks aren't precise, they are cracks. Just like this. Trying to stay in camera here. Just like this. Some old cracks in an old tombstone. I make some more and then rejoin you here. Just like this. Got one here, got one here, and out with it. It's quite a soft wood, but you of course can use foam stuff, but I don't like foam, I want real wood. Just go in it and clean it a bit up. Screwdriver. Remember what I said earlier about not carving in your direction? Here, this line here. Well, watch closely what happens if I don't follow my own advices. Ouch, and don't cut yourself. Like I said, never cut in your direction. Don't do what I do what I say. Save your finger. Just a little cutty. I let it bleed so eventual dirt gets washed out. But that's the tombstone. And of course I'm making this here fast and faster, just to show you what you can do with those cheap little skeletons. Next step, take your tombstone, your base, and look where it fits the best. Like here. Skeleton here, tombstone here. Or tombstone here, skeleton here. Yeah, let's do it this way. just to make it a bit different. Or something different. No, I'm just using what you call super glue. We call it Sekundenkleber. That means second glue, because it dries in a second. It's, by the way, also the €1 store, dollar store glue. Just put it on here, wait for a couple of seconds till it is hardened, and then you're finished. So, next step is to place Mr. Skeleton here. Give him a nice place to stand. I'll just have to stay here. Those skeletons are actually harder to glue. They don't really like this kind of glue, so you have to hold it down for a couple of seconds to really stick on to the base. And the skeleton. I did the same melting hot burning trick with the head, so it stays put, and yeah, doesn't look bad. And now we are making the really messy, dirty part. And for this, I have here an old battery case filled with sand and a bottle of wood glue. That's the kind of wood glue we use in Germany. You can of course use any kind of wood glue or something like this, or just skip this step if you don't have sand. So for this step I'm using an old brush. You can of course use a new brush, but I don't want to waste anything. Open the glue and put something out here, like here and here around the feet. Getting hard, so I unscrew the cap and just pour a good glob of it out. So like this. Seal it back up. That's a fast drying glue. 5 minutes. And now I don't use the pencil, just my finger, and spread it around here a bit. Here a bit, and there a bit. Just like this. Around the tombstone. And of course, if you have time and patience, just use the wood glue for the tombstone, not the super glue, but yeah. Okay, next step is pretty easy. We take the sand and just gently spread it around here. Just to give the platform a bit of texture. Do a fair amount of it on here. And then take your finger and just put it down a bit. If you use PVA glue, just water it down and spray it over it afterwards. Or just do what I do. So now just taking this and removing the sand which doesn't stick. So, and there we go. Now it's drying time, 5 to 10 minutes. So now I'm watering down a bit of my glue. Yeah, it's all nice and dirty here. Yep, that's working. Now we're gluing all the sand down. So, now, this has to dry. I'm putting it on my radiator and we're right back. So, there he is. Now it's time for painting. First of all, we take a small brush, like this one here, piece of cardboard to put the paint on, and just black paint. The black paint is used to paint in the spots that we want to show later. Especially good like here, those cracks. We don't have to do too good of a job here. Just get the paint in where it needs to be in. Just like this. Then we take a piece of paper and wipe the excess off a bit, just to make it easier later. So, just like this. Wipe away the excess paint. And now zoom a bit in here. Just get it in. And also on the side. Just follow your cracks. So really get this in here. So that looks good. Now let's dry it and then sand it. The next step is painting Mr. Skeleton. I take some white paint, just a bit, mix it in with the rest of the black paint, just to get a bit of a grey, and then we just dry brush it on him, just like this, get him a bit different color. Make him look a bit more natural. A bit more white here and there. Just to pull him off a bit from what he used to look like. Just like this, here a bit, there a bit. Make him pop out of it. I guess the colors don't show as much on here as they should, but yeah, you get the trick. Hello! Now I have made a bit more grey paint, different color scheme this time, and dry brushing is on here, just to bring out the letters, as you see. Very gentle upward strokes, just to make them pop out. Now the black paint disappears. Same thing here on the back side. Once again, upward stroke, and we have a beautiful crack. Same thing here. We don't have to try to not mess up the base because we paint it later. And as you see, isn't this a beautiful tombstone? So, and in the next step I will paint the base a brown base coat. So, after applying the base coat, I will go over it with a little bit of green. So, the painting is finally finished, but you can of course spend way more time on this as I did, but that's just a tutorial. And now and there he is, fresh from the tube, Mr. Skeleton and his grave. So, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Until next time, the tape is nearly empty. Goodbye. And here is a little another one. As you can see, he has lost his hair and instead mistaken it with a pumpkin. Yeah. Or here, another one with a tombstone. This was the one I had made previously.